And we're just about ready. There's the whistle, and here we go with the AA championship game. A squib kick up the middle, taken by Davis. Breaks through a hole momentarily, gets over the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line. A 14-yard kickoff return.
That was an intentional squib kick. Some people might think he missed the ball, but he does that intentionally.
Here's the offense for Apple Valley. John Tatro, Walter Davis, Chris Sanagustin, Darrow Young. He's a great fullback. Rick Bosacker. You see the offensive line. Pretty big up front in that offensive line. A very balanced backfield for Apple Valley. You'll see that today. They'll use just about everybody. Young and Sanagustin are in the backfield. That's number 4, John Tatro at quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 32. Man in motion is Sanagustin. And here's the give to number 1. That's Young. Darrow Young is to near the 34-yard line, making the tackle for Burnsville, Steve Schreier. And now let's take a look at the Burnsville defense. Steve Schreier on the tackle, Ron Mertz, Chris West, Craig Banham, Mike Clark, Todd Keyser. That's the defensive line. Good up front they are. And then you see the linebackers and the secondary. Davis, Young, and Sanagustin in the backfield. They fake the Young. They give it to number 24, Davis. Davis cuts to the right side, up to the 40-yard line. About 2 yards shy of the first down. Mike Clark, number 75, and number 71, Chris West, on the tackle for Burnsville.
Kind of just feeling each other out here. It's like a little sparring in the first round.
A lot of experience on this Burnsville team. 20 of the 44 players were here last year. They do have an edge in experience, but Apple Valley, oh, have they eliminated some great teams in Stillwater and St. Thomas. 3rd down and 1 at the 41. John Tatro, Young, and Sanagustin. This is the give now to Sanagustin. And Sanagustin is over the 40-yard line to about the 41. Eric Carlson, number 15, made the tackle. Great player on special teams. The coach told me that he spends most of his time apologizing to folks that he has knocked out. He knocked out an assistant coach from Roosevelt who was too close to the sideline. And at practice, he knocked out Dick Hansen's neighbor when they were practicing. He was too close to the sideline, tried to make a tackle, and knocked him out. So this guy is a big hitter, number 15.
Especially out of bounds.
That's right. John Tatro, number 4, back to punt. And we've got Hinnon and Newbert back to receive for Burnsville. Snap is good. Here's the kick. A nice kick down to around the 24-yard line. And this is number 18, Hinnon, to the near side, just across the 32-yard line. Tackle made by number 44, Troy Totino. We have no score in the game. The AA championship game, Apple Valley nothing, Burnsville stall. And we get our first chance to see Matt Larson, number 23, Dot Lee. Mentioned him earlier. What a great player he is. That's the backs and the receivers. The offensive line up front, they have some big boys up there. There you see them. Marco Siki, the center, number 53, about the center to number 22, Matt Larson. He keeps it himself, rolls, doesn't want to pitch out, breaks free inside the 40-yard line, down to the 42-yard line is Matt Larson. Pat Koopa on the tackle. Now you'll notice he wears number 22. His hero is Doug Flutie. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first that defensive line for Apple Valley. We'll try to get you the defensive secondary after this play. 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Larson on the keeper again. This time pitches out to Dot Lee. Dot Lee hit over to the 50-yard line and past the 50-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down. Chris Schwartz on the tackle, number 14. I mentioned number 22, Matt Larson. Let's see the secondary of Apple Valley if we could. Okay, they're going a little too quick for us. We'll try to get that in later. 2nd down and 3. Burnsville basically going without a huddle. 2nd down and 3 at the 50. Larson again wants to throw to Dot Lee, complete, and now he drops the ball. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Just underway in the AA championship game. There you have it, the linebackers in the secondary. Troy Trotino, he's a good one. Todd Scott, Jeff James, the quarterback. I mentioned number 22. Now let me get to that story. Doug Flutie is his hero, Matt Larson. He asked Burnsville's Dick Hansen, the coach, to order that number especially for him. He believes he is Doug Flutie and can pull off anything. We'll see. Jim Thornton and Dot Lee in the backfield for Burnsville. This is Larson. Keeps, pitches it out to Dot Lee at the last moment, and he is knocked out of bounds just over the 50. Maybe made it back to the line of scrimmage. I believe on the tackle there, Troy Totino, number 44, one of the players there, along with number 56, Jason Skipyak.
He thinks he's Flutie, and Clarkson says, I'm not going to tell him any differently because he's had an awfully good year.
Close to 2,000 yards total offense by Matt Larson. Young and Davis are back to receive the punt as Burnsville is stopped by Apple Valley on their first possession. Mike Neeson is the punter, number 39. The punt is away. Davis picks it up at his own 10 to the 15. Hit at the 15, regains his balance, and with great second effort gets to near the 20-yard line.
That's a great athlete that can put his hand down and run. We used to call it running three-legged, both legs in one hand. That's a great athlete that can recover that kind of balance.
Marco Siki made the tackle for Burnsville, a 40-yard punt with a 9-yard return, and he fought for every one of those 9 yards. Number 24, Walter Davis, 5'10", 165-pound senior. 881 yards rushing this year, 7 touchdowns. His longest, 68 yards. So he can break the big one. 1st and 10 at the 21. Davis, Young, and San Augustine. Now they give to San Augustine. Number 6 turns the corner. Kind of a little scat back, moves around very quick. Let's go down to the sidelines quickly to Joe Schmidt.
Bob, I'll tell you the reason that Burnsville was going with the no-huddle offense is because Apple Valley is starting 4 big linemen both ways. They'd like to wear down those guys early in the game, let the heat get to them. We'll see if it works. Back to you.
Well, that's some interesting strategy there because they are indeed big up front. You can see that. John Tatro, the quarterback. There you see him on the year. 12 touchdowns. The man can throw the football. Just underway in the first quarter. No score between Apple Valley and Burnsville. Apple Valley in the light-colored uniforms, and breaking through for running room to the 40-yard line is Darrell Young, the junior. 6 feet, 175 pounds, and lots of quickness. Paul Newbert on the tackle for Burnsville.
This fullback up the middle, the one thing that both of these teams got is a lot of balance in their running attack. The play before, you saw a wingback on a scamper around off tackle, now straight ahead with their fine running fullback, and you'll see a good passing game with both teams before it's over today.
Well, they pick up the first down. There's Darrell Young, 863 yards on the year. 1st and 10 at the 42. Tatro calls the signals. Man in motion is San Augustine, but they give to the inside. That's number 24. That's Davis, breaks it free across the 40-yard line inside, possibly to the 35. Before he's brought down by number 40, Paul Newbert, and number 18, Brian Henning.
The key on the play was the block of All-State tackle Kelly Day, number 79. Beautiful job. Tackle coming down on a trap block and really opening it up inside.
Oh, did he take Craig Bantam out of the play?
I mean, it was just beautiful. You'll know now why he's an All-Stater.
Gave him a front row seat on the turf, I'll tell you. John Tatro at quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 36. The Apple Valley Eagles are on the move. They shift around a little bit there. They give it to the lone setback. That's Darrell Young up in the middle. And Burnsville now closes down. Number 71, Chris West on the tackle.
Straight ahead power play. Picked up about 3 yards. Once again, 2 good lines. 2 big, strong lines. And the game, as most close games, are generally won on who controls that line of scrimmage. And right now, Apple Valley's doing a pretty good job of controlling the line of scrimmage with their offensive line.
2nd and 8. Darrell Young, the lone setback. Ball at the 34. This is the give to Young. Breaks free. Running room. Still pulling. And he is inside the 25-yard line before he's tackled by Brian Hennon.
Once again, Kelly Day, this time coming off from the linebacker. Good blocking at the line of scrimmage. Kelly Day coming down hard on the linebacker. Trapping, kicking out on the tackle. Gives him a nice running lane inside.
What I can't believe, this is such a solid football team, but Apple Valley has more gadget and trick plays than any team in the entire state.
I think a lot of those things are for fun.
There's Kelly Day. What a block he threw just a moment ago. 1st and 10 at the 23. The Eagles are threatening. And now here's the give to San Augustine, and he's in big trouble there. Coming up very quickly, number 48, number 49, Mewbauer, and number 48, Steve Schur.
I've been watching that line of scrimmage a little bit because early on, sometimes whoever controls that line of scrimmage will control the ball game. And the guy that really catches your eye is Kelly D. I know now why he's highly sought after by a lot of colleges and an all-state tackle.
There's head coach Paul Miller, and his Apple Valley Eagles do not seem to have any first-time jitters. They seem very comfortable and relaxed with their game plan. The lone setback once again is Young. In motion is St. Augustine. This time they give inside. That's number 24 again. That's Davis.
That's that play again. Kelly Day coming down on the nose guard. And that's a mismatch. When you put Kelly Day on that little nose guard, he really blows a hole at the line of scrimmage.
Mike Clark, number 75, and Ron Mertz on the tackle. Number 24, you see him there, Walter Davis. Don't be surprised if you see the bootleg from this team. They love to run the bootleg time and time again. And they're really setting it up here with the running game. Davis with 33 yards already here in the first quarter on 3 rushes. This is St. Augustine off the left-hand side, and he's down to near the 12-yard line. And that may be enough for the first down. They might have to measure this one. It was 3rd and a long, too, and he may have enough for the first. Number 66, Chris Dolich. Some nice blocking on the left-hand side there.
That's quite a combination with he and Day. They're both very fine blockers. Day's size and Dolich is a big, strong youngster, but he's got a great quickness. Very fine guard.
Well, here's the measurement. You'll see whether or not they do indeed pick up the first down. It looks like they are short by that much. Steve Lusum, number 2, comes into the game with the play, as they will indeed go for it on 4th down. 4th down and about 6 or 7 inches. Paul Miller, the head coach in his 12th year.
Well, I think I know where I would try to go for it.
3:52 remaining in the first quarter, and the offense jumps offside. Now, instead of being 4th and inches, it'll be quite a bit more than that. Phil White, number 90, was the man that moved too early. John Tatro is talking to the official, but it will indeed be against Apple Valley. Dan Haustein will come in to attempt the field goal. A 22-yarder. 32-yard field goal. And it is off the side of his foot. He has more than enough leg to hit that. His longest of the year, 37, but that was not a very good effort. There's a timeout. We have no score. Apple Valley nothing, Burnsville nothing.
Bringing more entertainment to families like you.
Earlier that Burnsville was running a quick offense, basically a no-huddle type offense. The Apple Valley's defensive coaches tell me they have practiced that. They fully expected Burnsville to try that hurry-up offense. They're fully prepared, Bob, to see what they can do on defense to stop it.
Okay, the Burnsville defense stands up to their first test against the Apple Valley Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Thornton the setback. This is a give to number 30. That's Ingersoll. Ingersoll to the outside. Gains about 4 or 5 yards. Ingersoll has a sore shoulder. Did not play much in Burnsville's last game, but is evident here tonight he is going to see some action. And he is very, very good at coming out of the backfield as a pass receiver.
That was a little counter. That was a little counter to him back to the open field side. He tried to break the boundary.
See him right there. Ingersoll comes in the near side, spread out wide. Now, I'm not going to say that the Burnsville coaching staff is superstitious. Last year, they wore black shoes, trying to change their luck. This year, they're wearing white.
Somehow or another, Bob, it generally matters who's in the shoes, not what the color they are.
2nd down and 5 at the 25. Larson with Thornton as a setback. Larson back to throw. Looking. It is complete. That's Malmberg. Malmberg with running room to the 45. Knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line by Todd Scott, number 20, and Dave Bloomquist, number 15. Neil Malmberg, number 80, the 6'2", 175-pound senior tight end.
Here's a replay. This is just a little sprint out pass, delaying Malmberg a step or two at the line of scrimmage, and then getting him into the soft spot.
First and 10 at the 49. Larson throws it up again. That one for grabs. He overthrew Dot Lee, number 20, the intended receiver.
Just as well he overthrew it. Pretty well covered. I think if that had been on the numbers, it would have been an interception.
You know, I mentioned the shoes for Burnsville. Dick Hansen's wife has been knitting him a sweater, and she refuses to put the last button on that sweater until they win the championship.
That's superstition.
She's afraid. She doesn't want to jinx the team. Second down at 10 at the 49. You saw a brief look at the stats of Matt Larson and the kind of quarterback he is. Here's the quick pitch to Ingersoll to the 50, near the 47-yard line. Mike Edwards, number 46, on the tackle. Second on the Apple Valley defense in tackles, 165 on the year. Big weakness on the Apple Valley defense would have to be their defensive ends. They're a little bit small.
Very active, but sometimes against a strong running attack, it'll wear you down before it's over.
Third and 6 at the 47. Quick pitch to Dot Lee to the 45. Has some running room. Cut. Beautiful cut back to the 30. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Well, we've known he could run all year, and he's shown it on that particular run. But once again, a gaping hole off the left tackle, and he just did a beautiful cutback.
Walter Davis and Troy Totino making the hit. Up front, they're pretty big, Burnsville. First and 10 at the 29. Larson wants to pitch. He's in trouble there. Nice defensive play. Mike Edwards, good penetration, and when you get that kind of penetration, you've got trouble. The play really never had a chance to set up.
Well, the quarterback has to make a decision, and the defender was there before he had a chance to make a decision. He did the right thing, and that was to hang on to the ball and not try to pitch it. The number one rule on an option play is don't pitch the ball when you're in the grasp of a tackler, because that's when you put it on the ground.
Second down and 13 at the 32. A minute 55 remaining. First quarter action, no score. Burnsville with the football. Larson complete to Dot Lee to the 30. Breaks another tackle. Down to the 20. They'll mark it probably at the 22-yard line. Dave Bloomquist, number 15, made the stop for Apple Valley.
Once again, a nice runner. A good running back is one who, what does he do after he runs out of blockers? Dot Lee on the last two plays, he showed me he can do quite a bit on his own, and that's a sign of a great running back.
Dick Hansen told me he loves being in the dome because now he can try all the plays that didn't work in the snow.
Isn't that the truth?
Third and 4 at the 23. Matt Larson straight ahead.
Now that looked like what we call a tap-tap sneak. The quarterback has the option of just tapping the center on the leg, and only the quarterback and the center know they're going to run the sneak, and the center snaps the quarterback the ball, and they just take off.
Totino and Edwards on the stop. Well, Marco Siki is a real close friend of Matt Larson. In fact, they both played youth football together along with Dot Lee, and they now coach youth football. So those three players, Dot Lee, Matt Larson, and Marco Siki, very, very tight-knit group. Fourth and 1. Braves are going for it. 20-yard line. This is a give to Thornton. Powers his way, breaks through the first down and more. Inside the 15 to near the 14-yard line. Jeff James, number 20, along with Todd Scott, making the stop for Apple Valley. There's a break in the action. Apple Valley nothing, Burnsville nothing. Along with Cal Stahl, Apple Valley has only given up an average of 10.2 points per game, but here in the first quarter, Burnsville threatening first and 10 at the 14-yard line. Matt Larson, number 22, the quarterback, drops, wants to pass, looking, has Ingersoll open in the end zone. Touchdown, Burnsville.
Now that was Flutie all the way. That was what you call touch on a football. That was a Flutie play. Maybe he is Flutie.
It's not often you see a high school quarterback that can take something off with a football and put it right where he wants it.
That kind of touch, they've practiced that before, but it takes a quarterback with great touch.
Steve Smith is in for the extra point. Wernes is the holder. And it is no good. It is wide to the left. The team's having a little bit of a problem making the extra point here today. Here it is again.
Watch this. Just sprint out to the right. Gets good protection. He's got plenty of time. I let him just loft that ball up over the head of the defender. Perfect throw. Right on the money. Great catch, but a perfect throw.
And what an addition Ingersoll is to the Burnsville team that he is back from an injury. He is such a good receiver.
Another angle on this. Watch this soft touch. Bingo, just right. Nice arm throw.
Throwing on
Perfect.
the run.
That's not easy for college, more experienced quarterbacks to throw.
Steve Smith, a left-footed kicker. There's the 6th touchdown of the playoffs for Rich Ingersoll. San Augustine is back deep for Apple Valley, along with Walter Davis and Darrell Young. Just 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Burnsville leads 6-0. Left-footed soccer kicker. And it's a good kick. Picked up by Davis at the 10. Breaks free to the 25. Is caught by a shoe by Eric Carlson, number 15, their best special teams player. I talked about him earlier. He makes a nice stop. 21-yard kickoff return. The scoring drive, 10 plays, 80 yards, and they looked very good, that offensive line of Burnsville, in doing it. Ingersoll, a 14-yard pass from Larson.
It's fun to watch well-coached, good athletes, isn't it?
A little interesting point here pointed out to me by Ray Higgins, our spotter, that Walter Davis is now wearing gloves. Well, that is it. That is the end of the first quarter with the score. Burnsville 6, Apple Valley nothing. Ready to go into the second quarter of the AA championship game. First quarter, first downs, Burnsville 5, Apple Valley 3. The Eagles now with the ball. A shift in the backfield. The lone setback is Darrell Young, with Tatro at quarterback. The give is to Walter Davis. Davis is hit hard at the line. In fact, probably a yard deep in the backfield. Steve Schur, 5'11", 225-pound junior. Let's go down to the sidelines and Rob Lear.
Bob, you brought notice to the gloves that Walter Davis is wearing. Those are just not any gloves. They're handball gloves. He's wearing a pair of them. He says it makes him feel like he's got a grip of the ball a little bit more comfortably. He says he's going to wear them throughout the football game. In fact, he said he's been wearing them all season long. Let's go back to the booth.
All right, thanks, Rob. Certainly not because it's cold inside the Metrodome. Second down and 12 at the 28. Apple Valley with a lot of shifting, trying to give some different looks. They give to Davis. Second man through. He's up to the 35-yard line, possibly the 36.
I'll tell you another thing about gloves. It'll save a lot of skin knuckles on this synthetic turf, too. A lot of times, your running backs and people have to hug the ball, cannot protect their hands or their knuckles because they've got a grip on the ball, and it does really save a lot of skin knuckles.
Todd Keyser, one of the Burnsville players, making the defensive play. Third down and 4 at the 36. Just underway in the second quarter. Burnsville leads 6-0. If you just joined us, AA championship game. The team in the light uniforms, Apple Valley with the football. This is Tatro. Big defensive play by number 94, Ron Mertz, and 75, Mike Clark. The Burnsville defense that Apple Valley was able to move on in the first quarter, now stiffening quite considerably.
The great play on this is 94 coming back on the play. What a great shot, because he thought he'd been rolled out of it. Hertz came back on the play and just did a super job. Great hit.
Ron Mertz, number 94, 207 pounds. And boy, did he hit John Tatro. Tatro is back to punt now on fourth down. Number 40, Newbert, back to receive. But this is off the side of his foot, and it will go out of bounds near the 33-yard line. We'll be back with more championship football. The score in the second quarter, Burnsville 6, Apple Valley nothing.
Introducing the amazing Minolta Maxim, the world's easiest SLR, because it alone has built-in automatic focusing. Look, Maxim's autofocus lets you get perfect shots before others can even focus. Change.
Figure out what they can do to move the football against that Burnsville defense. And they really had a great series that last time out. 36-yard punt, by the way, no return. Burnsville takes over first and 10 at the 32-yard line. This head coach Paul Miller trying to design some offensive plays. It'll work next time around. This is Larson back to pass. Burnsville wants to throw it on first down. It is out of bounds. Pressure being put on Larson by number 20, Todd Scott. Chick Hansen says they will throw on any down.
I don't know if he skied that on purpose or not, but I have a hunch he may have, because it was very well put.
That's Lance Werner's coming out, number 10. He'll be replaced by Ingersoll. Thornton is the lone back in the backfield. 2nd and 10. Ingersoll in motion. Fumble on the snap. And it is recovered by Apple Valley. Number 66, Tim Johnson.
Fumbled on the exchange. I think he was pulling on a trap, and they fumbled right into his lap.
Here's a story. Tim Johnson is a guy that didn't make the playout team last year. Doesn't have much talent athletically. That's what his coach tells me. But he used weights, worked hard, and makes the most of everything that he's got. And Dick Hansen says he's a key reason why this team is in this Prep Bowl final. Dot Lee, number 20. Look at him cut all over the place. Out to the 40-yard line, but he will still be a tad shy. They'll call for a measurement more than likely. Troy Totino, and Mike Edwards on the play. But Dot Lee, what a great open field runner.
Give Jeff Van Nest an A+ on that particular play. Watch him pull and hit the trap and spring Dot Lee. It was a beautiful trap on the end on an off-tackle play.
Dot Lee, no stranger to the Metrodome. Of course, he played a key role in Burnsville last year. And they've got it by the nose of the football.
I'm impressed with their trap series and then their bootleg off of it, which is a good combination. It affords a good play-action pass fake in that bootleg.
1st and 10 at the 42. Burnsville is 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. 9:11 remaining here in the first half. Larson with a pitch out to Dot Lee. Dot Lee to the 45, across the 50. Lowers his head and just booms his way inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Chris Swartz, the safety for Apple Valley, comes up to make the tackle, but I think he may have gotten the worst end of that situation.
Great option play. Ride the fullback in there, and then he's got an option on the cornerback. And when you can option the cornerback, the only man left between you and the end zone is a safety who's rolled over the top.
1st and 10 at the 43. Burnsville on the move once again. They lead 6-0. It's like Larson's changing the play. Quick pitch to Ingersoll to the far side. Stops, gets a couple of yards, and is knocked out of bounds by Proshik, number 16, and Mike Edwards, number 46.
Burnsville had set a real good strength to the open field side, and because of that, Apple Valley had rolled their defense over to the open field side, and I think that was a check to a quick pitch back into the boundary, probably thinking they could get a little more yardage going away from the strength of the defense.
2nd and 7. Larson rolls, wants to throw, and he is in the and he takes a terrific hit. Number 7, Wooders, was right in there, and one player had Larson around his legs, and then another player hit him up top. It was Isaacson and Wooders, I believe. Wooders had him by the legs, and Isaacson came through to really put him away.
That was interesting. The defensive concept was safety free, and the two halfbacks had zone.
3rd and 15. And in the last couple of situations on the conversions, both times they've made it, they've gone to Dot Lee, number 20. This time he's in trouble. Big rush by Apple Valley. Larson being chased, and he is caught, but he still gets the pass away, and it'll be incomplete. Wooders again, number 7, with the heavy defensive pressure for Apple Valley.
Interesting to watch these two teams. They really have a lot of similarities. They both throw the ball well. They both got well-conceived running attacks.
Mike Neeson will come in to punt for Burnsville. Back deep is Young and Davis. Apple Valley with a return on. This will be Young fielding the ball at about the 19-yard line. He is tackled right there. Where it'll be 1st and 10 for Apple Valley. A 29-yard punt and no return. There's a timeout with a score. Burnsville 6, Apple Valley nothing.
Downs without starting split end Rick Bosacker. You can see they have a ice bag on his left ankle, and the trainers tell me it's a severe strain, and Bob, they don't know if he'll be able to come back tonight.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rob. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Apple Valley, 2nd quarter. And that is number 1, Darrell Young. No, number 6, I'm sorry, Chris St. Augustine. Running the football, and they gained him about 6 yards.
Wingback counter. Nice play. Well executed.
7:20 remaining in the first half. 2nd and 4 at the 26. John Tatro, the quarterback for Apple Valley. Darrell Young, the lone setback. They give it to Young up the middle, but there are penalty flags. And more than likely it will be illegal procedure against Apple Valley.
We've got a false start on the offense. 2nd down.
False start on the offense. Burnsville, you see there, 1972 Class A champs, Class AA champs in 80, and of course last year, the AA runners-up as they lost to Stillwater.
In a great football game.
In a great football game. 2nd down and 9 at the 21. Tatro. Here's the inside reverse to Augustine, and Augustine has running room, but he's hit hard at about the 30. Breaks away momentarily. I thought he was going to get the first down, but he should be short. Chris St. Augustine running the ball, number 6. Brian Henning, number 18, on the tackle.
That's the old double wing, double reverse. I can see why St. Augustine has scored as many touchdowns as he has. He's an ideal wingback. Kind of a squirmer. Not real big, but he blocks well, catches the ball well, and sneaks in through those holes. He's very sneaky quick.
15 touchdowns, his longest 88 yards.
I can see that.
3rd and 1 at the 29. This is a give straight up the middle to St. Augustine, and he has the first down. One thing to watch for as far as Apple Valley is concerned, if Burnsville starts keying in too much on the fullback, they will use a trick play where the left guard, number 66, Chris Dolich, will run the football.
Interesting play.
If Burnsville keys in too much on that fullback, which is Darrell Young. Tatro once again to Davis. That Davis, he is hard to bring down. He just keeps plugging away till he gets a few yards on his own effort. Tim Motzko on the tackle, and he holds a Prep Bowl record for the most tackles in a game, 20 against Stillwater last year in 1984. There's Dodd Lee, and they're working on his shoe there. I don't know what, maybe he's complaining that he's not getting enough traction because they're putting tape on the bottom of that shoe. I can't imagine that on this surface, but...
No, I couldn't either.
I can see Joe Schmidt on the near sideline checking it out for us. We'll have a report for you momentarily. St. Augustine on 2nd down and 7. Gets near the 40-yard line before he's tackled by Steve Shire. The linebacker, 123 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries on the year. Let's go now to Joe Schmidt. Joe?
Well, Bob, the reason they were taping up his shoes is because Dotley runs so fast, the heels of the shoes fell completely right off. So they had to tape them up so the heels will stay on the actual shoe. Back up to you.
Called running out of your shoes.
3rd and 3 at the 40-yard line for Apple Valley. 4:42 remaining in the first half. This is a give on the draw to Young. Trying to use his speed, but is he hit hard. First it was number 40, Paul Newbert, and then coming in to help out, Tom Eubauer, number 49. There he is, number 40. Nice defensive play.
Watch Eubauer come up from the outside. Real good. First, a good job of turning the play back inside. Now watch Eubauer right here. He really puts the shot on him right there and turns him around to the opposite direction, and that's a good hit.
4th down, Apple Valley will have to punt. John Tatro will do the honors, and this is a nice punt. Back to receive it, number 40, Newbert catches it at the 20-yard line. Cuts to his left, finds a little bit of an opening. Nice, nifty return as he gets up to near the 34-yard line, where the Braves will take over the football. On the tackle, number 46, Mike Edwards. Here's a timeout with the score: Burnsville 6, Apple Valley nothing. Bruce along with Cal Stahl bringing you live football action. AA championship game between Burnsville and Stillwater. Burnsville with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 34. This is number 20, Dot Lee. Tackle made by Mike Edwards for Apple Valley. 3:44 remaining here in the first half for the score. Burnsville 6, Apple Valley nothing. Let's go to Joe Schmidt. Joe?
Bob, I've got an unofficial prep bowl record. Burnsville has 48 cheerleaders plus 24 pom-pom girls at this game. Unfortunately, only 6 can be on the field at one time, but they're all having a good time.
48 cheerleaders and 24 pom. That's got to be a world record, much less a prep bowl record. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Larson fakes the handoff to Lee, wants to throw, does. Intercepted. Intercepted by Apple Valley and returned to inside the 30-yard line. Jeff James with the interception.
That's a matter of being in the right place at the right time. That ball was underthrown, and Jeff stepped up and grabbed it and put Apple Valley in a great shot. Watch this. The ball's underthrown, actually. He didn't get enough on it. Or I guess overthrown, depends upon who he was aiming at. But Jeff stepped up and did a good job of intercepting. Jeff James.
He had 2 receivers in that area, so it could have been either one.
Right, either overthrew one or underthrew the other.
1st and 10 at the 29. Apple Valley with a golden opportunity after the interception. Here's the handoff to Davis. Davis cuts. Gets down to near the 28-yard line. Steve Shire on the tackle, number 48. You see a good shot of him there.
That's good defensive play again. That was a good trap. There was a good hole at the line of scrimmage, but it didn't stay open long enough to get Davis through it.
2:36 remaining. Seven rushes for 44 yards for Davis. I'm surprised we haven't seen that bootleg too much, because that's a play that they really love to run. 2nd and 8 at the 27. Just drops straight back. Tatro looking, has a man, complete. That is Davis at the 17-yard line.
A plus for quarterback, A plus for receiver. Great shot. Kind of a sidearm flip out there, and Davis did a great job of catching the football.
That is the first pass by Apple Valley.
Watch it here. He breaks out. They flush him out. He moves to his left. Now watch that quick arm right there. Bingo. There we go. Great pass. Great catch.
And that was good enough for a first down. They marked the ball at the 17. 1st and 10 for Apple Valley. The Eagles threatening to tie the game. Isaacson in the backfield. They use him as a wingback sometimes to block. He's a tackle normally. Number 73, you see him right there. And they go that way. He blocks for Augustin. Augustin trying to turn the corner. He does. He's got more inside the 10, maybe to the 5-yard line. And that is where they will mark it. Chris San Augustine cutting off the blocking of Gary Isaacson, number 73.
Well, you know, it's the same old story. Anytime that you can break contain on anybody's defense and you get somebody out in front to block the corner, you're going to get that kind of yardage. And then when you put a good runner like Chris San Augustine behind it, here's the replay. Broke the contain, got some blocking out front, and then just makes a good strong run to get inside the 5.
Isaacson, normally a center. They move him to wingback for blocking purposes, sort of like the refrigerator. 1st and 5 at the 5, 1st and goal. Isaacson once again in the backfield. This is a give to San Augustine. He's inside the 5 to the 4, maybe 3-yard line, depending on the mark. Steve Shire and Brian Henning on the tackle.
Power eye just hammered straight ahead behind that good left side, blocking left side of that line.
Well, Dick Hansen concerned here because with just a minute 28 remaining in the first half, he'd love to go to the locker room with that 6-point lead, but Apple Valley threatening to tie the game, possibly take the lead. Brian Henning, all-state defensive back, and in addition to that, probably the best scholar student on the Burnsville team. Very smart in the classroom. 2nd and 3 on the 3. This is a give to Davis. Cuts through. Touchdown, Apple Valley.
And he lost his shoe again. We're going to have to re-shoe him before it's over.
He ran right out of the shoe and right into the end zone to tie the game.
Once again, I'm impressed at the job these coaches have done, both of them. I'm very impressed. Watch the replay here. This is a wing-back counter. Good blocking out front. Beautiful blocking job. And then just a good, honest effort to get that ball in the end zone.
Hallstein in for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And Apple Valley takes a slim 1-point lead. The Eagles have come back with a little over a minute remaining here in the first half of play. Here it is again, and watch the blocking up front and the great running by Walter Davis. Comes out of his shoe right there and goes right into the end zone.
But also broke a tackle getting in there. That's determined running. Well, everybody said this was going to be a good one, and they haven't disappointed us in this first half.
For some unknown reason, one player, number 97 of Apple Valley, you see him there, we'll have to call him the mystery man because he's not anywhere in the programs or any of the listings. We're going to have to find out who he is before this game is over with. Kicks it off.
He's somebody they found off the soccer team the way it looks.
Newbert up to the 30, across the 30, breaks the tackle, fights his way to the 35-yard line. 28-yard kickoff return by number 40, Paul Newbert. There's a scoring drive, 5 plays, 29 yards, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Davis on the 3-yard run. First and 10 at the 33. Larson back to pass, throws over the middle. Oh, what a great reception. Number 85, Tom Hiley. And he has the first down and more. Over the 45-yard line to the 47. The market just past the 47-yard line. And what a tremendous catch.
He used both hands and both knees on that. That was an excellent catch.
As I said, it is a first down at the 48-yard line. 28 seconds remaining in the first half. Larson needs a lot and in a hurry, and he's got some right there inside the 40-yard line. Totino and Bloomquist on the tackle. That was Hudson on the reception, number 89. The 5'11", 155-pound senior. 21 seconds remaining. The Braves are going to have to hurry. They called a timeout. Vic Hansen will come out on the field to talk it over with his team.
Well, don't count Matt Larson out either. He's a great winner.
Watch this catch. I was talking about this, Cal. This is just a tremendous individual effort on this catch. I thought he was going to drop it, but he still grabbed the handle on it. Look at this.
Like I said, he used both hands and both knees.
Little body English. Used everything. Brad Hudson. Kind of like Don Hudson. Is that a name from way back?
That's right.
21 seconds remaining here in the first half. Apple Valley with that slim 1-point lead. Let's go to Rob Lear quickly.
Bob, for the record, number 97 is Bill Ryan. And the reason he's wearing number 97 is because they lost his number 99 jersey. All the programs are printed for 99. He lost his jersey, so tonight he'll wear 97. Bill Ryan, the senior, is the kicker for Apple Valley.
Makes sense.
Well, thank goodness. I'll tell you, I was having problems with that one. Here's Larson with the skip pass, and it is defensed beautifully by Apple Valley. Proshek was in there. That is the skip pass we were talking about earlier.
I have a hunch that somewhere where Apple Valley had seen that before because they really had that covered pretty well.
Yeah, Andy Proshek was right in there.
That's an old chestnut, but I've seen it work to win football games over the years.
Wisconsin used that to win a big game.
Sure, I remember way back in the 50s when... See, the idea is to skip the ball. It's a lateral pass, and therefore the ball's in play until it's blown dead. And he just stands up and throws it down the field.
Just nothing there. Proshek was right on top of it. Time for one more play here in the first half. Just 7 seconds remaining. There you see head coach Paul Miller.
We got to get another gadget play.
He's talking to Mike Edwards saying, hey, now we don't want to give up anything here, especially well, now they changed the clock, and now they say there's 11 seconds remaining.
Time for a couple.
Oh, Dick, you dropped your playbook. Better grab it. You may need that later on. I got to tell you, in the second half, I got to tell you about Burnsville's secret society of the gold dot. I got to tell you about that. I'll save that for the second half. Second down and 19 with the ball in the 47. 11 seconds remaining in the first half. You see it right there in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Matt Larson, number 22, the quarterback, drops back, wants to pass, looks downfield, goes for a bundle, incomplete. And they'll have time for another play. 5 seconds remaining. Intended receiver, Brad Hudson.
Let's hold him, D!
There's a look of determination for you.
Yeah, they're into the football game anytime that you're rivals like we are here.
Matt Larson.
6 for 12.
5 ticks of the clock. Shotgun formation.
This could be anything. Too late.
Throws it short to Ingersoll, and time will run out. That will be the final play of the first half, and what a good first half it was indeed between Apple Valley and Burnsville for the AA championship. Apple Valley holding on to a 7-6 lead.
Well, it's as advertised. Of course, we knew that coming in was going to be a dandy. And it really has been the first half. It's been a very interesting first half.
Well, I want to remind our viewers not to go anywhere because we have some great halftime activities coming up for you, including the great masked band performance. But right now, let's go downstairs to Joe Schmidt.
Thanks a lot, Bob. I'm with Dick Hansen, and Coach, you're down by 1 point. It's been a rough and tough game. Is this the kind of game you expected tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the second half? What do you feel you have to change to move the ball better on this Apple Valley defense?
We got to give our guy a little more time to throw. And we may have to come back and try working the other side a little bit more. They've adjusted their people to the split side now, which we attacked pretty hard the first quarter and the middle of the second quarter. And if we can shore up things so he has a little more time to throw, I think we can be all right.
What do you plan on telling the team at halftime?
Just that.
Basically that. Yeah. Has Apple Valley pulled anything on you that maybe has surprised you here in the first half?
No, they're just executing very well, as we knew they would.
The interception hurt. They capitalized on it.
You bet. You bet. You can't give them the ball there.
All right, Coach. Good luck. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Coach Dick Larson, back up to you, Bob.
Thanks, Joe. Our score once again, Apple Valley 7, Burnsville 6, and we'll return with a performance of our masked band. Apple Valley leading Burnsville 7-6, and there we are, Cal. This is the Little Perch. We've been up here for quite a while, but this second half should be something to see because both these teams, it's just a flip of a coin as far as who's going to win this championship. It could come down, as it did in the Class A game, to one big play.
Yeah, there have been a lot of good games today, and like you said, we've been here a long time, but this is the excitement of what high school football is all about to me. These are two well-coached football teams. They've got a lot of skills. They can throw the ball. They can run it. They play the defense well. They're well conceived both defensively and offensively, and it's everything we thought it was going to be, and we're ready for the second half kickoff.
Well, will the dream live on for Apple Valley as they lead 7-6, as their team slogan says, or will Burnsville avenge their defeat last year and become the AA champion? We will soon find out. Bill Ryan kicks off. Received by Newbert. Newbert to the 25, to the 29-yard line, where he is knocked down by number 56, Jason Skipyak, a 22-yard kickoff return. First and 10, and they'll mark the ball just inside of the 30-yard line. Matt Larson is the quarterback for Burnsville with Rich Ingersoll, number 30, and number 20, Dot Lee, also in the backfield, along with Jim Thornton. That's Ingersoll in motion. The give is to Dot Lee, a slashing type runner. He gains about 3 or 4 yards. Jason Skipyak makes the tackle along with Troy Totino. Dick Hansen tells me that Dot Lee is not only a great runner, but he is a tremendous blocker. He is like a knife. He will absolutely cut you in two.
I'll tell you the reason that one thing that makes him both great as a blocker and a runner is the fact that he's got such great acceleration.
Second and 6. Matt Larson keeps around the left-hand side, out to about the 38-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter. Apple Valley leading 7-6. I mentioned the secret society of the Gold Dot as far as Burnsville is concerned. When they go into the playoffs, they give each player a little tiny gold dot, a little sticker, and they stick it somewhere in their jewelry or on their person. I'll get to it in just a moment. Third down and second at the 38. Thornton, he's got the first down and more up to the 45-yard line. What that dot signifies, as Edwards and Proshek make the tackle for Apple Valley, is the commitment needed to make the final game in the Prep Bowl. And each player must make that commitment when they accept the gold dot. If you could get a shot, and it's impossible really to get this tight a shot of Dick Hansen's watch, you would see a tiny gold dot. They carry it everywhere.
That's good commitment. That's a good sign of a commitment.
First and 10 at the 45. This is Larson. Give it on the reverse to Ingersoll. He's got nowhere to go. Apple Valley's defense number 44, Troy Totino, and Todd Scott, number 20. They've done a very good job. Any bit of trickery that Burnsville has pulled tonight, Apple Valley's been right there. Obviously a sign of excellent coaching.
Well, Troy Totino has been around a long time. He's a veteran on that defensive football team, and I'm sure that they've looked at this many times in the last couple of weeks getting ready for this game.
2nd and 17 at the 38. Ingersoll in motion. Larson fakes, looks deep, wants to throw. Almost intercepted by number 14, Chris Schwartz. It would have been a tremendous interception. Could he have made it, but it was a nice diving play, nevertheless.
Good defensive concept again. That's a safety free. Watch this. They're playing halves. They've got 2 deep backs to cover anything deep, and that turns their free safety loose to get in front of a play like that. Very well executed. Good defensive concept.
Burnsville faced with the 3rd down and a very, very long 17 yards to go at the 38, their own 38. Larson fakes, throws over the middle, complete to Ingersoll at the 46. Pulls one tackler inside the 45-yard line to near the 43. Andy Proshek on the tackle. But what a play by Ingersoll. And you notice there, he is holding his shoulder. He was injured in the playoffs, missed most of last game, and now he is coming to the near sideline. If they lose Ingersoll at this point of the game, it could be crucial. 1st and 10 at the 43. Larson gives to Dot Lee. He's in trouble. And with some good second effort, he turns a major loss into maybe only a loss of 1 or 2. There is a flag on the play. Clipping on Burnsville.
That sometimes happens when a back has to scramble. The offensive lineman or the people that are blocking for him get a little bit disoriented and don't know where he really is. And then all of a sudden the defender will turn his back on you, and you've maybe started a block that you couldn't avoid. And oftentimes it ends up in a clip.
Tom Hiley, number 85, excuse me.
We have clipping on the offense. 1st down.
And that was on number 85, Tom Hiley. 1st and 33. Long way to go.
1st and a ton.
A little too tight to find the clipping there, but it was indeed there. Back in the shotgun is Larson. Throws. It is complete, but not near enough for the 1st down. Tom Hiley made the reception. Jeff James on the tackle. Number 85, Tom Hiley, a story there. Dick Hansen told me he spent more time in detention hall last year than he did at practice. He had problems, but he has been a total turnaround this year. He's been a good student. He's been in practice. He hasn't been in the detention hall, and he's really turned himself into quite a young man. 2nd and 21, a long 21 to go. Larson back. Complete over the middle to number 80, Neil Malmberg. And Malmberg is still well shy of the 1st down. Andy Proshek, number 16 on the tackle, along with Chris Schwartz, number 14, the safety for Apple Valley.
They've done a good job in 2 downs of picking up an awful lot of yardage, but they had so far to go. They've still got a long way to go, but if they complete the passes they have the previous 2, they'll be in good shape.
3rd and 12 at the 45. Larson rolls to his right, looking. His receivers are covered. Throws the ball anyway. Ingersoll is there and grabs it. Ingersoll worked his way into the open between 2 defenders to pull down the football at the 11-yard line.
2 things involved there. A great reception. Watch the replay. Now, I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, but this ball pulled Ingersoll away from the 2 defenders. Pull them in between them. Well thrown ball. Well, beautifully executed pass play.
Well, that shows you the value of Rich Ingersoll. He left with his shoulder hurting. I'm sure he's still hurting at this moment, but after all, this is the final game of the season. 1st and 10 at the 16. This is Thornton. And he's not going to get a line. Apple Valley closes him down pretty good. Jason Skipyak, along with Andy Proshek on the tackle. Well, for Rich Ingersoll, he's a 6'2", 190-pound junior, but there's never a guarantee that Burnsville could make it back to the Dome again next year. It's so tough to get here. 2nd and 11. Ball marked at the 17-yard line. Larson, quick pitch to Dot Lee. There's a flag down in the backfield. and it could be too much time.
This is in and
No,
out.
too many men on the field. Let's see if they call that on. Wait just a moment here. My spotter, Ray Higgins, tells me it's too many men on the field for Apple Valley.
I don't really see that.
Number 55 was late getting off the field, Mike Quinlan, but
Steve Smith, the left-footed kicker for Burnsville, will kick off.
it is a short kick. And this is Davis at the 21. And he will make his way up to the 29-yard line, an 8-yard kickoff return. Brad Nielsen on the kickoff, on the tackle rather. Scoring drive for the Braves, 11 plays, 70 yards. There you see the drive time. Larson on an 11-yard run, but keep this in mind. They made 3 straight third down conversions, and at one point, they had first down and 33 yards to go. An impressive drive, to say the least. First and 10 at the 29. John Tatro gives up the middle, I believe, to number 1, Darrell Young. He picks up a couple. Craig Banham on the tackle. Let's go down to the sidelines to Channel 5's Joe Schmidt.
You can see on the sideline, Matt Larson is throwing the football. He hurt his back when he ran in on that 11-yard touchdown. He twisted his back, and as he was twisting into the end zone, he took a helmet in the back. He is all right, expected to come back into the game, but that back may bother him a little bit as we get into second half action, more in second half action. Okay, Bob.
Thanks, Joe. The drama continues to build. 2nd and 6 at the 33. This is San Augustine. To the 40, breaks free to the 45, still on his feet, and then knocked down at the 49-yard line by Paul Newbert, number 40, and Eric Carlson, number 15. Chris San Augustine with a great individual, great run here. Watch this. He gets hit a couple of times and still keeps going. Breaks one tackle. There's another and another. Twisting, turning. That's a tough guy to have to tackle.
I'm impressed with the way they run that offense. That's a timing offense, and they do a great job of executing it.
Good enough for the first down, of course. First and 10 at the 49. 5:29 left, third quarter. Apple Valley trailing 12-7. To the far side goes Walter Davis. Tom Muehlbauer on the tackle. As Davis picks up 4 yards for the Eagles.
And one of their best plays we haven't seen yet is faking all that and bootlegging off it and throwing that little what we call waggle pass in the intermediate area.
Paul Miller told me they love to run the bootleg, faking the run and then rolling out and hitting their tight end, but they have yet to run that here tonight. 2nd and 5 at the 46. Walter Davis, 10 carries, 43 yards. Number 24, they've used him a lot here tonight. And this time, though, they go up the middle with Darrell Young, who will be short of the first down. Tim Motzko makes the stop for Burnsville, along with Craig Banham. There's Dick Hansen. He's got some work to do here. He wants to talk to his offense. Did a great job on that drive, but the question mark that hangs over Burnsville at this moment is, how is Matt Larson?
And then can they stop Apple Valley, who's moving the ball down the field pretty well?
Clock moving along, 4:13 remaining. Attendance 34,801 here today at Prep Bowl. Third and about a yard. And the penalty flags are thrown. Mike Clark, number 75, may have jumped. And that is indeed the case. And they'll pick up the first down the easy way. Boy, that hurts you when you're coaching you.
Absolutely, especially down this part of the field. You're getting into 4-down territory now.
Defense, encroachment. First down.
You see the penalties tonight. Burnsville with 4 penalties. Total of 20 yards, 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. First and 10 at the 36. John Tatro, the quarterback, gives up the middle to number 86. I believe that was 86. Or was it 66? There, that's the play I talked about earlier. That was Chris Dolich. And there's the guard play that I mentioned when Burnsville starts keying on the fullback, that they'll bring that guard out like he's pulling and hand off the ball to him and let him run the football.
Kind of a blue plate thing, blue plate special we used to call it, but that's a tight turn for that guard. He better have a pretty good size hole, which he didn't have that time.
Not much on that one. 2nd down and 8 at the 34. Tatro, Augustin turns that corner as he has all night long, and he is very near the first down. San Augustine, tackled by Mertz. He's very good at turning that corner. He's got great acceleration.
Good quickness. He really has. He's built kind of low to the ground. He gets the turn, and once he gets the boundary and gets turned upfield, he's got great quickness, and he's got some running skills.
Just glancing at this football team, Paul Miller is going to have quite a few of these players back next year. His quarterback, San Augustine's back next year, along with Darrell Young and Walter Davis. Walter Davis, however, is a senior. There's a timeout on the field with Burnsville leading 12-801. To Prep Bowl 85, Bob Bruce and Cal Saul back with you live here at the Metrodome, along with Rob Lear and Joe Schmidt, who are prowling the sidelines. First and 10 at the 26, 2:47 remaining here in the third quarter. Apple Valley trailing 12-7. This is Davis trying to break a tackle to get free. He makes it back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a little more. Steve Shire on the tackle, number 48.
Craig Banneman really broke the center's block and almost had that for a loss. He was the first man through that you saw on your screen. Watch Craig Banneman, number 77, right there. He almost has it for a loss. But Davis is a shifty little runner, and he ducked underneath and turned what was a very bad play into a decent one.
Second and 9 at the 25. Double handoff, fumble. The ball is kicked. It is loose at the line of scrimmage, and it appears that Burnsville has recovered, and it indeed is the case. A costly turnover by Apple Valley. Ron Mertz, number 94, recovers the fumble. There is a timeout on the field with the score. Burnsville 12, Apple Valley 7. Mentioned, Cal, a lot of handoffs, a lot of timing in this offense, and this is going to happen every now and then.
It's not so bad that he mishandled the ball, but he kicked it inadvertently, naturally, but he kicked it right to Burnsville.
There you see him, Ron Mertz with a fumble recovery. Larson working now, hands off to Dot Lee, and he will be caught for a loss. About a 1-yard loss. You saw there in the right-hand corner. Just about a minute and 40 seconds now remaining here in the third quarter. Kelly Day, number 79, on the tackle. Second and 10. Make it about second and 11. Larson wants to put it up in the air. Throws. A man wide open. Dockley. Pass is outstretched. Hands. He was there.
That's as wide open as you can get. It's a shame he didn't get the ball to him. That was the bootleg. Guard pulling out in front. Plenty of time, plenty of protection. Then a throwback to Dot Lee. And, of course, the replay will show you. There's the guard out front protecting. Plenty of time. Kind of a nice soft pass. Just overthrew it.
At least 10 yards in the open.
That was six all the way.
Now watch Matt Larson. Remember, his back is sore, and that doesn't help things any.
Not when you get someone as big as Gary Isaacson on you.
Third and 11. Larson keeps to the 30. Breaks free, has the first down, and is out to the 40-yard line. Dave Blomquist, along with Todd Scott, there to make the stop for Apple Valley.
He does make things happen, doesn't he, Bob? He overthrew the receiver who was wide open last play and then came right back in here again. I don't believe that was a designed quarterback draw. I just think he saw some daylight, decided to run with it, and maybe get the first down in spite of the fact that he overthrown the wide receiver last time.
Well, during the season, he had close to 2,000 total yards, and that's both running and passing. He is a Doug Flutie type. He can run, he can pass, and Matt Larson takes the time out to discuss things with his coach. Evidently a little confusion there about what was the next play to be called. With just 56 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And it remains to be seen whether or not that turnover was crucial for Apple Valley. They had an excellent drive going.
Yes. We commented on the fact that they were moving the ball down the field pretty well. But as you indicated, anytime you have a multiple ball handling offense, which this is, and I'm still terribly impressed with their precision and the way they handle that football, but every once in a while you can lay it on the ground. Although they have not been a fumbling team at all.
Well, Apple Valley now trailing 12-7. Would like to pick up their second state championship in less than a week, really. They won the volleyball championship. But this is a big, big one for Apple Valley. 56 seconds. Remaining here in the third quarter. Wernerson, Thornton in the backfield. Thornton with the block for Larson. Larson in trouble now. Nowhere to turn, and he will be dropped for a big loss. Excellent pressure by the entire front defensive line. Leading the charge, Pat Krupa. Let's go down to Joe Schmidt.
Bob, the reason that Dot Lee is not in the ball game right now is that he's trying to shake off a Charlie horse, not only in one leg, but both legs. It happened on that long pass play that he just about had, but he's, as you can see, he's stretching and trying to shake it off. He's got a Charlie horse in both legs. Back to you.
Well, they can ill afford to have him out of the game. They need Dot Lee in there. Wernes is replacing him at the moment, number 10. Larson to throw. Incomplete, and boy, tight defense there by Walter Davis, number 24, who is, of course, the running back on offense. Brad Hudson, the intended receiver, number 89.
Davis not only plays the offense pretty well, but he really played that defensive play very well.
Things have sort of quieted down a little bit here, Cal. I get the feeling that something's going to happen here soon. 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 12-7 Apple Valley, but Larson looking. Third and long. Oh, what a reception! And he breaks free. Tom Hiley caught at the last moment. He's down at the 2-yard line. Just as I said, things were a little quiet and something might happen. Oh, boy, did it. Tom Hiley, great Scott, what a tremendous reception. Dave Bloomquist, number 15, tipped the ball, bounced around, tremendous concentration by Hiley to pull it in and then break away to go down to the Apple Valley 2-yard line.
Watch the replay. A little roll out to the left. Now watch the tip that Bob was talking about. Now watch the concentration in a great pair of hands, and then a good pair of strong running legs breaks him loose here, and he gets caught on the 2. Called back for whatever reason.
No, that's just the end of the third quarter. Burnsville threatening to score. They lead it 12-7 over Apple Valley. Tremendous on third down situations in this game. 7 out of 11. 4 times they've converted for the first down on third down and over 10 yards. Right now, it's 1st and 2, 1st and goal. Larson calls the signals. Gives to Thornton, spins, dives, and is short.
But not very much.
Oh, look at that. He's about as close as you can get. Todd Scott, number 20, made the stop for Apple Valley along with Jason Skipyak. Well, they'll mark that. They'll nudge it right up against that white line.
Determined run, though. Hit at the line of scrimmage, spun off of the initial tackler and got himself down to the 1-whatever line.
Jim Thornton. You saw the stat on him there. This is Larson. And he did not get it on the quarterback sneak. It is now 3rd and goal to go. And now things get a little interesting here. Now they bring Dot Lee. He is back into the game now. Probably either for his running ability or blocking ability, and you can see they maybe lost a little bit on that play. 3rd and goal to go. Burnsville leading 12-7, and there's a very, very concerned head coach of Apple Valley, Paul Miller. The game could be riding on this play. Here's the give to Thornton. He's easily into the end zone.
That was a little misdirection play, but I'll tell you what. Anytime you're that close, you've got to give the ball to the ball carrier headed toward the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what he did at that time. He found a little seam and jammed it in the end zone. Watch the replay. Little bit of a misdirection. Handoff, found the soft spot, and stuck it in. Great running job, Jim Thornton.
18-7.
Going for the 2.
2 Apple Valley players just barely making it onto the field. Now they're set. Larson drops the throw. Kick. Newbert fields it at the 6-yard line to the 20. Breaks free over the 25, stopped at the 26-yard line. Now let's go down to Rob. Rob?
Bob, Apple Valley's 2 for 2 on that reverse on the kickoff. They tried it during the playoffs against Stillwater, and it worked so well they wanted to try it again when they were down. Prior to that play, Apple Valley coach Paul Miller called his team over and said, hey, one big play and we can get back in it. They're back in it.
No doubt about it. 20-yard kickoff return by Newbert. 1st and 10 at the 27. This is Ingersoll, number 30. He's got blocking out in front of him, but there's nowhere to go. That Apple Valley defense, they must have been inspired by Chris San Augustine. Jeff James on the tackle along with Troy Totino.
How many times
there, number 44?
How many times you see a great kickoff return or a block punt or something like that, turn a momentum thing right around, and that very easily could be happening at this particular time. They are back in the football game.
You saw how many tackles Troy Totino has. His coach says he's probably one of the best hitters on the team. 2nd and 12. Larson still with the football, rolling, throws, almost intercepted.
I was afraid of that.
They'll call for an interference penalty, and they will get it. Chris Schwartz, number 14, tried to time his hit, and it's a judgment call either way.
That could go either way. That's that bootleg we've been talking about. However, both teams run the same bootleg.
Here it is again, and watch him time his hit. He was there, according to the official, a little bit too early.
Boot. As you said, a judgment call.
Tom Hiley was the intended receiver.
Against the weight. First down.
As I was saying, Tom Hiley was the intended receiver, number 85. That gives Burnsville a first down at the 40-yard line. 20-14. The Braves lead by 6 with 9:37 remaining to be played. Larson drops, looks, throws over the middle, overthrows Hiley. And he's a bit fortunate that the Apple Valley defender had fallen down. Pat Krupa and Gary Isaacson really put the pressure on Matt Larson.
Great pressure, and that's what caused the throw. He actually threw the ball behind the receiver, but he was trying to get rid of it. But sometimes that's not a good thing to do, and this was almost one of those cases.
2nd down and 10. Larson gives to Thornton. He breaks free on the right-hand side, and he's near the first down. He'll be probably about a yard shy. Now the key for Apple Valley here, if they are indeed to pull this game out and win it, they can't afford a long, sustained Burnsville drive because they'll run a lot of time off the clock. There's only 9 minutes remaining here.
Big down.
3rd and 1. Audible. Changes the play. Larson has it. Will he pitch it? No. Keeps it. First down and more. Inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Wooders on the tackle. The senior, 6 foot, 170 pounds, number 7. He's played a good ball game.
I like Larson's take charge attitude. He figured they need the first down, checked off. He's going to keep that ball and get it himself. He has great confidence in his ability.
First down at the 45. Ingersoll in motion, fakes the handoff. Larson rolls to his right, looks. He's got a man coming from behind him from the blind side. He was caught by number 32, Pat Krupa. And Krupa has been all over Larson in the past several plays. They are getting introduced.
You almost want to holler at the quarterback, look out behind you. What's this? What's the pressure from the backside? Now is when you want to start saying, look out behind you, because this is a fumble play if you ever saw one, especially when he doesn't understand it.
Braves at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 11. Larson, quick throw over the middle, and another pass interference call. The intended receiver, number 85, Tom Hiley, but the penalty would be called on number 46, Mike Edwards. And really, you have to play that pass that way. You've just got to take a chance.
Here's a replay on it. I don't think there's any
Definitely.
question
No,
he
no.
interfered with the man's opportunity to catch football.
No doubt about it.
Probably a little more obvious than the other one we saw.
Defensive, pass interference, first down.
2 pass interference penalties,
Kept the drive alive.
but it may not keep the dream alive for Apple Valley. You see it there. Crucial penalties at a very bad time. 7:55 remaining in the game. 1st and 10. Burnsville trying to build on that 6-point lead. This is Larson. He keeps it, but Apple Valley comes up with the play. Number 7 again. Wooters is there, along with Kelly Day, number 79, and Mike Quinlan, number 55, also joined in on that tackle. The thing that has made it very difficult for the Apple Valley defense is the mobility of Larson, extremely mobile and able to avoid that pressure. That time they were able to shut him down. 2nd and 13. Larson complete to Ingersoll. 1st down, and he is inside the 20-yard line. Andy Proshek made the tackle for Apple Valley, but not before Rich Ingersoll picked up the 1st down.
Dave Fritzie, who is Apple Valley's coordinator, a defensive coordinator, played for us at one time. Watch the replay on this. This is just a little sprint out pass, got plenty of time. I like the way he just gets the receiver open and just threads the needle into the soft spot.
They spot the ball at the 18-yard line. Larson gives to Thornton straight up the middle, just power football. He may have made it to the 15-yard line. In the second half, 1st downs, Burnsville 10, Apple Valley 3. They have definitely been dominating here in the second half. Totino and Quinlan on the tackle. I think the amazing statistic is that 4 times in this ball game, they have converted on 3rd down. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 18. Now it's 2nd and 7. Larson has Dot Lee, but no, goes the other way to Ingersoll. Breaks the tackle, is still free, and gets inside the 10-yard line.
Close to a first, if not one.
He is tackled by Todd Scott on the far sideline.
Somebody down over there, Bob.
And it is an Apple Valley player who is injured on the far sideline. We cannot spot the number. Here it is again. Watch Larson. Fakes one way, turns, goes to his other receiver, Ingersoll. That's a lot of poise.
I tell you, he's made a believer out of me. His leadership ability and his just good football sense and good football ability. Awfully good arm torque and throw on the dead run, and that's hard to do.
Well, I'll tell you, his hero, Doug Flutie, pulled out many a great game which plays just like that. Now I can see why he loves that number 22.
Anyhow, to get back to what I was telling you about Dave Fritzie, their defensive coordinator who played for me in Minnesota, said that they were very, very concerned about the bootleg play of Burnsville and had a special defense. And they really have evidently are guessing right with it. Have done a pretty good job of shutting it down.
That's number 44 for Apple Valley, Troy Totino, who is up and walking under his own power, shaking up just a little bit on that play. 3rd down and 1. And we'll call it the 9-yard line. 8 of 12 on 3rd down conversions at Burnsville.
It's amazing.
They have just been awesome on 3rd down, and now some confusion. Larson takes a timeout. And with that timeout, let's take a little bit of a break here. Burnsville leading Apple Valley by a score of 20-14. Record broken here. Matt Larson has set a Prep Bowl record for passing 221 yards, breaks the old record of 208 by Brooklyn Center in 1982. 3rd down and 1. Thornton caught behind the line of scrimmage, and Apple Valley holds. Let's go down to the sidelines and Rob Lear. Rob?
The hitting has been fierce down on the field. Take a look quickly at Troy Totino. You see the blood coming out of his mouth, Bob. He took a strong hit on the sidelines, but he just wants to catch his breath, and they say he'll be back in the game soon.
Boy, he is a hitter indeed on that defense. Boy, he can really pop. Loves to hit. Almost down, just under the 6-minute mark. left to play in the game. 4th and 1. Apple Valley has to stop Burnsville here. Larson to pass, complete, touchdown. Tom Hiley with the reception. And Larson continues his record-breaking day through the air.
Once again, a very, very impressive performance by Mr. Larson. That's another touch play. It's just a quick toss to the tight end, but it's got to be right on the money because he's on a dead run. Watch it here. Beautiful. Well executed.
Steve Smith is in to attempt the extra point. And the kick is good.
.541.
Apple Valley got back into the game so quickly, but Matt Larson took them right back out of it just as quick.
Here we go. It's a 3-step drop and then just a quick arm, a nice touch on the ball.
Tom Hiley. I mentioned earlier that last year he had a lot of problems, conduct problems. He was in detention hall, didn't show up at practice. I mean, the young man had some problems, but this year he's turned all of that around. And as Coach Dick Hansen says, he's just been an absolutely outstanding young individual, and he's also proving here tonight that he's a great athlete. 4 catches today for 102 yards for Tom Hiley.
That shows you what a well-disciplined football program will do for a young man.
And he deserves all the credit in the world. Just 2 backs deep for Apple Valley, so we may see another trick play, handoff, or reverse. Nope. There is the handoff, the same play, but they fake it and go up the middle. And he's still free. That's Young down the sideline to the 32-yard line. Steve Smith, the kicker, made the tackle. They faked the play they ran earlier to San Augustine. And Young kept the football himself.
Gee, I wished I'd have thought about saying it sooner, but I was going to say watch the fake, but I wasn't smart enough to say it soon enough. It's easy now. Awfully good job of running. Once he gets back up the middle of that thing, the traffic should be a little tougher than it was.
52 yards on the return, 1st and 10 at the 33. The Eagles have to work quickly. They trail 27-14. Tatro back to throw, deep into the end zone, past the outstretched arms of Chris San Augustine.
This thing isn't over yet, Robert.
Once again, I remind you that at this stage of the game, trailing 27-14, with a little over 5 minutes to play, Apple Valley has tons of trick plays. And you may see some bizarre things in the final 5 minutes of this football game. Dick Hansen, the Burnsville coach, right now can almost feel that AA trophy in his hands, but there's still some time to play. Here's the shuttle pass up front. That will go as an incomplete pass. Walter Davis was to catch that football, but he didn't catch the football before he started to run.
A little bit of pressure on the quarterback, too. That ball may have been thrown just a tad behind him, and sometimes that's hard to do when you're on a dead run. Reach back and try to make the catch.
Apple Valley has 3 timeouts left, so they're in good shape when it comes to their timeouts. But they need to get something in the end zone, and they need to do it quickly. John Tatro. And San Augustine in motion. Tatro drops. In trouble, pressured, looks, hits over the middle to number 2, Steve Lusum. And they will mark that ball at the 23-yard line, and he will be, I would say, less than a yard short of the first down. In fact, they will call for a measurement because it is that close. They got a very good mark on that.
Yeah, I didn't think they were that close to the first down.
Very good mark, and they may even have picked up. They are still short. 3rd down and just that far. 4th down. Correction.
Big down for both teams,
to say the least. John Tatro, they have not gone to the air but a couple of times. Isaacson, the big center, is now in the backfield as a blocker. Tatro gives to St. Augustine, and he has the first down. He is near the 20-yard line. The problem for Apple Valley, Cal, is they cannot afford to continue to run the ball because they don't have enough time to score that way.
Not with that clock running like it is. They've got to do something quickly. And they got to kick it off, hold them, and get back with enough time to get the ball in the end zone.
Blew a whistle there. Darrell Young lost his shoe. And that's happened more than once today. It is quite an adjustment for these players when they come in and play indoors on the turf, but boy, it really gives them a chance to show their talents. Far better than if they were outside playing on a day like today. First down and 10 at the 21. Eagles need to score some points and score them quickly. As that clock continues to roll, Tatro drops. Here's the shuttle pass to St. Augustine. He's inside the 20 to the 19, tackled by Steve Shire. But the clock continues to roll.
They were talking yesterday about how warm it was in here, and I said, hey, man, count your blessings. You could be at Parade Stadium. That would be fun.
Would that be chilly? There's the all-important numbers right now for Apple Valley fans. The dream lives in 85, but only for the next 4 minutes unless they can score. Complete, nope. Newbert with a fine defensive play for Burnsville. I believe that was Davis over the middle that had the ball momentarily, but dropped it.
Excellent defensive play. Timing was good on the play. Apple Valley naturally thought they should have had pass interference because of the two that they got previously, but I think that play was called correctly.
3rd and 6. In motion, this is Davis. Davis breaks through to the 10-yard line inside the 10, where he's tackled by Brian Hennon.
I don't believe there's any quit in either one of these teams, certainly not out of Apple Valley.
Clock will stop momentarily as they reset the down markers, as that is indeed a first down. We are now at 3:40 remaining to play. The lone setback is Darrell Young. Eagles shift to the left. And there'll be a motion penalty here as Darrell Young was moving. Craig Banham on the tackle. But there was movement before the snap of the ball. In addition to the penalty hurting them, that they've also lost crucial seconds off the clock.
I was just going to say that, Bob. Not only was it a bad time for the penalty, but the time is of most
Backfield in motion, decline. 2nd down.
Second down. And goal to go. This is Davis. No, Tatro throws. He hits Darrell Young, and it is complete inside the 5-yard line. Brian Hennon, number 18, on the tackle with Tim Motzko.
Once again, a well-conceived pass. It's a play-action pass. What's the replay on it? He fakes Young into the line and then throws the ball to him. Well-conceived. Young getting a little careless with that ball, waving it over his head like a wand.
3rd down, goal to go. This is Davis through the middle, short.
He's close.
The clock continues to roll. 2:28, and Apple Valley needs to call, and they do, call the timeout. With 2:28 remaining to play here in the AA championship game of the 1985 Prep Bowl. Now, Cal, the strategy here, they would like to score on this next play, obviously, because they don't want to waste any more time. It is 4th down. They have to score on this next play because they cannot get the first down. Then they have to have their the Apple Valley defense has to really do a number on the Burnsville offense. And another possibility is the onside kick.
Or go for 2 here. There's all kinds of little funny things that's going to happen here. Yeah, you better believe they need the touchdown first.
Head coach Paul Miller is out on the field talking it over. This offense has averaged Apple Valley 28.7 points per game. They are, of course, well below that here tonight.
I think the Burnsville defense had something to do with that.
Oh, without question.
I think I'd hammered it right in behind that big Kelly Day and someplace on that side of the line because he moves people out of there pretty well.
Fourth and goal. They've got to put it in here. San Augustine. Touchdown.
Well, they went to the right side of the line, which was the left side of the line behind Kelly Day, but they barely got in with it. Once again, that's a good defense, but a good overpowering offense.
Dan Hostein will come in. And you see the formation as they shift. Now we're in the replay there. There's the touchdown. They shift into
barely
extra point formation. High snap. Here's the kick. It is good. Hostein's kick is good. And it's 27-21.
Interesting football game.
Once again, this AA game, it never fails.
Watch the replay. Like I say, he got in, but just enough. But all you have to do is have the nozzle sticking open. That's
a
what
great
counts.
block on that play was number 79, Kelly Day.
Yep.
And he's a Division I candidate. He could play Division I college football.
Without any question. Yes. Onside kick. You got to expect it. Burnsville expects it. They put their best hands in, and they pulled off all their tape and everything else they've got on their hands, and they're in there ready to catch the football.
Hostein, not Ryan, will be the kicker for the first time. So that gives you an indication right there. It's the first time that he will kick off, so that gives you an indication of what's going to happen here.
They're going to run for it.
They all shift to the near side.
Sure.
And boy, is this going to be a scramble. The onside kick. The lot riding on the foot to the Apple Valley kicker.
This is always exciting to me.
Don't you know those men up front for Burnsville are very nervous.
They better be concentrating on that football.
It's the kick. It's a good one, but it's right into the hands of Dot Lee, and there is very little chance that he will fumble the football. Probably the last person on the entire team that you'd want to kick it to.
Yeah, that's the one he shouldn't have aimed at if he did, but I don't think he did that. That's always just the law of chance. Oftentimes that ball will take a big bounce up over that front line. If it's kicked on top a little bit, just a little bit above the middle line on the football will make it bounce. On its second bounce, it bounce high.
Oh, what a game for that young man tonight. He got the Eagles back into this game with that long kickoff return. Larson rules under pressure, finds an opening. It's across the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 5 yards.
I doubted very seriously if he was going to throw that one because he's going to try to play it just as cozy as he can right now with 1:54 left. Because the touchdown...
Well, now it's going to be up to Cal. It's going to be up to those guys up front. Ed White, Tim Johnson, Mark Osiki, Jeff Van Ness, Marty Rothrock, the end Tom Hiley. It's going to be up to those guys to block Apple Valley and to sustain a drive here. 27-21, a minute and a half left to play in the championship.
We're going to see a lot of this. He's going to run for time. Don't go out of bounds, son. There you go.
Larson stays in bounds and is near the first down. A little bit short, I believe. Clock continues to run in Apple Valley. We'll take a timeout. Well, there's not much that gentleman right there can do right now. It's all up to Paul Miller's defense to do the job. Well, both teams have played a great game, and you have to remember once again that these two schools are only 10 miles apart from one another, so there's going to be a lot of talk about this game for many, many years to come. And of course, a lot of talk about that young man, Matt Larson, number 22, who's had a Doug Flutie type of game, completing 13 for 230 yards, a Prep Bowl record. Burnsville 8 of 13 on third down conversions.
And that, my friend, is almost unbelievably fabulous. That's a record in itself as far as I'm concerned. You're lucky if you ever even get half of them, you're playing awfully well.
And the amazing thing about it is, Cal, is they weren't. Now this one is a bit easier. It's third and short, but most of those were over 10 yards.
One of them was first and 30-some, and they came off of third and 12 to pick it up.
Third and short. Thornton does not get it. A nice job up front by number 56, Jason Skipiak for Apple Valley. And oh, is that man nervous right there with the headset on, Dick Hansen.
They take their last timeout, did they?
Apple Valley takes another timeout. Well, for the folks who follow the Burnsville Braves, it appears there will be celebrations tonight. Lots of fun. For Apple Valley, well, not too much to be ashamed of. The dream of '85 will, it appears, die here in the AA championship game against Burnsville. But what a great season for that young man right there, and of course his entire football team.
I thought that was their last, but then I kept seeing one on the board, and I wasn't sure then.
And I think you're going to see a lot of teams from the southern suburbs, the Twin Cities. And the Stillwater's always, George Stoll's always got a tremendous program out there on the banks of the St. Croix, but Burnsville and Apple Valley, and even Lakeville, I wouldn't be surprised with the population shifting towards that end of the city. One day being in Prep Bowl. Here's Larson running again. Has the first down and more. Spins. Twirls his way inside the 25-yard line, and that's going to about do it. Mike Quitland makes the tackle.
That puts it away. 59 seconds to go. They've got 4 downs to sit on it. Apple Valley with no more timeouts. Now, this is just a beautiful job of running. Really, all he needs is 6 inches from the original line of scrimmage to get his first down. Well, he does a whole lot more. Beautiful spin here. What's that spin? Excellent job of picking up extra yardage once he found a soft spot.
Ball is spotted at the 23. It will simply fall on it, and you can watch the clock as Burnsville will be the AA champion. Minnesota high school football in 1985. A big season for the Braves. Not a perfect record, 10-3. They lost to Park Center, lost their first 2 games of the season to Osseo and Park Center. And they have rebounded to come back and win the 1985 Prep Bowl by a score of 27-21 over a very good Apple Valley football team. The dream no longer lives for Apple Valley, but the dream has become a reality for the Burnsville Braves.
It's been a great game. You know, I've said it before, and I always say it. They both win because they're here, Bob, and that's the important thing. You can't take anything away from either one of them. This was exactly what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be a great football game, and it turned out to be just that. Both teams well coached. A lot of fine athletes on both teams. Their kicking games were sound. Their defenses were sound. They had a real good concept of offense, a good passing game. All in all, it makes up for what has been, since we've come to the Dome, just a great series, a great AA championship series.
Each and every AA game that we've had in the 4 years of Prep Bowl have been extremely exciting. They've all been decided in the final 2 or 3 minutes of play. And Dick Hansen, the Burnsville coach, you see him there with the black sweater on. And on that watch, the little gold dot, the secret society of the gold dot. And it was definitely evident here tonight that the players of Burnsville have the high commitment needed to win the state high school football championship. Let's go down to the field now for presentation of the championship trophy.
At this time, the players and coaches are asked to meet in front of their fan or rooter section. First, ladies and gentlemen, your attention is directed to the area in front of the Apple Valley Eagle rooter section. Presenters Ken LaCroix, Superintendent from Hastings, and Dan Skoog, State Department of Education, assisted by Minnesota State High School League executive staff, will make the presentation. Will the captains of the Apple Valley Eagle team come forward to receive silver medals and the second place trophy? And now, fans, your attention is directed to the area in front of the Burnsville Brave runner section. Presenter Judy Johnson, Athletic Director of Minnetonka. Don Meyer from Fridley will make the presentations to the Burnsville Braves co-captains and squad.
There you have it. Dick Hansen, the coach of the AA champions, and we'll be back to talk to the coach and the players of the Burnsville Braves, the AA champions, right after this. Back line at the Metrodome and the celebration continuing on the near sideline as the Burnsville Braves celebrate their AA championship, and indeed they deserve to celebrate because they really earned the victory. Apple Valley, they came back to take the lead 7-6, and then the Burnsville Braves, they just dominated the second half.
I think a lot of people are going to say, is it the fact that they were in the Dome a year ago? I think that may have had something to do with it. They just seemed that they achieved a maturity in the second half and really took command of the football game.
No doubt about it, and especially the third down situation. They were just unbelievable on third down conversions. Now let's go downstairs to talk to the very, very happy winning coach and happy players of the Burnsville Braves with Joe Smith. Joe?
We asked for one player to come on down here, Bob, but the whole team came because this was a total team effort. And Coach, you waited 1 year to get back here, and you're going back with the hardware.
I'll tell you, it's the same size, but it looks better in blue.
What was the key out there today?
I'll tell you, heart. Because every time we thought we had them put away, they made a big play on a couple of kickoffs. They made a big play on an interception. And this guy right here took charge on offense, and an awful lot of people took charge on defense. It tastes so good. I can't tell you how good it tastes.
Speaking of heart, you had a tremendous game. I don't know if you realize it or not, Matt. You have a new prep ball record for yardage passing. What do you feel like right now? You just found out about the record and the prep ball championship.
I had no idea about the record, but we worked all week in practice. We're going to pass the ball. And our front line, they had those three big guys. And our front line did an incredible job, gave me the time. And it just, the receivers, it came natural. Just get them the ball and let them go.
This team lost its first 2 ball games of the year. You were 3-3 after 6 games. Did you ever imagine when you were 3-3 that you'd be at this game and that you would win the title?
I thought so all along. We had a few young guys. We started out slow, but I knew when we came together as a team that we would do it. And our slogan all year long was, do you believe? And we believed all night tonight.
All All right, you believe, and right now we can see they believe that they're number one, and they are number one. Burnsville, the champion, a very happy team. Robert.
Boy, a tremendous effort by that team here tonight in the AA championship game. The final game of 5 state championship games that KSTP was very happy to bring you live here today. Let's recap what happened throughout the day. And, of course, Burnsville just won the AA championship. Earlier today, we started off the broadcast at about 9 o'clock in the morning. If we can go to those scores. There we have it. Earlier today, the Class C championship.